Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and after weeks of drama, Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry Darling is now facing its judgment day. How did it do at the box office? Was it worth all the drama? Was it any good? Well, I got all the receipts for you. In fact, I actually even reviewed it already. If you aren't following me over on my Movie World Plus channel, please give it a follow. I'll put a little thing up there in the top right corner. You can click that to go subscribe and watch my review, aka my rant about how much I disliked this film and why it didn't make any sense. I do go into full spoilers, but I warn you before I do. And I'm going to warn you here before I get into spoilers as well, because I got to talk about everybody making fun of Harry Styles. The twist, the performance, and so much more. We will break it all down. Before I get to any of it, though, how did this film do? It is facing its judgment day. Now, as Vulture was reporting, Vulture was actually reporting an Onset scuffle before any of the things came in. And I do want to take a moment to just sort of reiterate, because it's interesting how this all played out. Production people have responded to this, but let's see. So Pugh, who was a few degrees removed from Wilde's ex, Jason Sudeikis, had reportedly grown fed up with the director's frequent unexplained absences. Olivia and Harry would just disappear, the source says. But the breaking point came when Pugh and Wilde broke into a screaming match, this person recalls. According to our source, the acrimony between Wilde and Pugh allegedly reached all the way to the top of the studio totem pole, with the highest-ranking Warner Brothers executive at the time, Toby Emmerich, forced to play a referee in a long negotiation process to ensure Pugh would participate in the film's life cycle in any way and not jeopardize the potential box office. Warner Brothers spokesman and Emmerich said he was traveling. He didn't respond to comment. But yeah, blowout arguments between the star and director did take place through filming. Now, this is what had happened, and honestly, it seems to make sense. Screaming match is what they call it. However, a lot of the crew members stepped up to dispute this on-set feud. Right before this was all coming out as the movie was opening this weekend, the crew members stepped up to sort of defend Olivia Wilde. As a crew, we've avoided addressing this absurd gossip surrounding the movie we're so proud of, but feel the need to correct the anonymous source's quote in a recent article. Read the statement signed by producers and co-writers. Any allegations about unprofessional behavior on the set of Don't Worry Darling are completely false. Olivia is an incredible leader and director who is present with us and involved in every aspect of production. She ran this set with class and respect for everyone involved. There was never a screaming match between our director and anyone, let alone a member of our cast. We are happy to put our names on this as real people who worked on the film and who have witnessed and benefited from the collaborative and safe space that Olivia Wilde has created as director and leader. We're also thrilled that the movie is in theaters this weekend. We can't wait for you all to see on the big screen. Now, here's what's interesting. You know, as the people who signed it, so I'll hear location manager, property manager, production designer, set, blah, 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 gaffer, set tester, electrician, not a single cast member, not a single cast member signed this thing. Only crew members. And it makes me wonder if this was really rallied by the producers. Think about it. Hey, crew member, Olivia's going through a lot of bad press. Do you mind signing this letter for us? We'd love your support. You know, you didn't have any problems, right? Imagine being a crew member and you're like, will she hire me again if I say no? I'm sorry. It's like nice and all, but I don't buy it. Hollywood totally covers up for themselves to keep working. I mean, Harvey is the perfect example of it. So this just says nothing to me. And again, this seems like bad press to be like, yeah, we all have to, it's getting so bad about Olivia that we all have to come out and say it's not true. But then you didn't get a single cast member? Like when James Gunn was accused, I thought it was impressive when the entire Guardians cast, everybody, Cooper, Vin Diesel, Zoe, all of them came together to support him. And they did it again when Chris Pratt was getting accused during that. It's like, that was a supportive cast and environment where you're like, all right, well, these guys, this was really nice and loving and worked together. I think it was just, they should have just ignored it. But to me, this screams a producer, you know, Olivia screaming behind the scenes, being like, somebody say something. This is getting ridiculous. And it doesn't make me believe it. I'm sorry. And honestly, the reviews coming in didn't help the film either. Now, audiences have given it, you know, 79%. But again, a lot of Harry Styles fans coming in to sort of help support it. And that's really what happened in its first weekend. But what's really amazing is a lot of reviewers and women reviewers. So don't call me a misogynist and an incel, Olivia. A lot of women reviewers out there talking about the empty feminism of Don't Worry Darling. After all the buzz and rumors and reports of conflict, Olivia Wilde's slippery 50 slur just doesn't have much to say, anything to say. And I couldn't agree more. It's all style over substance. It's just trying to be clever and witty. And, oh, we're going to call out Jordan Peterson is what she's trying to do. And then she doesn't even really do it well. It's bad. Here's the Washington Post. The Washington Post. Don't worry, darling. Trouble in Paradise, close by the Twilight Zone. Olivia's overhyped and underbaked thriller is a forgettable flash in the pan. Coming from the Washington Post. Ann Hornaday. Look, so how did the box office do? That's the real question here. Did it perform? Did it make its money back? And yeah, it did okay. It did okay. Harry Styles and the drama definitely gave it a little bit of a spike in its opening weekend. It was the best opening in 5 weekends, but you got to remember there hasn't been a lot of stuff releasing. The summer's over. This was 19.2. Now there were points throughout the weekend where the industry exciders were like, well, this could get up to 30 million. It didn't. It didn't even break 20. And a lot of pundits, box office pundits were sort of remarking on how all over the place these numbers were. High opening night numbers because of Harry Styles fans, people assume, and then, some serious drops and ups and downs. But it did well. It did okay. Opening is not a knockout, but it's a solid start for the $35 million budgeted film. So they made 19.2. The film cost 35. Plus you got to factor in, there was marketing budget on top of it. So it's still got to make, it's got to double that. It's got to make, 60 million, I would say, to be, we made our money. We did okay. She's got to make 60, and she's only at 19.2. And the question is, how big of a drop will next weekend be? I think a lot of the trades, while it's like respectful for an independent film, it needed more. It needed more, and it needs to do really well next weekend. And I bet you the drop next weekend will be massive. In fact, we will tell you during the lives tomorrow. I'll keep you updated as this goes because I know some of you have just been curious. So make sure while I have you here, hit that subscribe button for me, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that like button. We'll keep you updated on this and so much more. Also, your comments. Did you see it this weekend? I want to hear your thoughts down below. But last weekend's number one, The Woman King, had a nice hold. Second week with 11.1, dropping just 41.5%. So we'll see. It did better than The Women King, which is impressive. It wasn't number one because Avatar came out and got the big amount of money on its re-release. It didn't actually. No, I thought it made more. The weekend it grossed another this weekend. Yeah, no, it did. It did better on the weekend. Avatar was number one, I believe. Yeah, re-release brought in 10 million. Best grossing of years re-releases. Oh no, it only made 10 million. It wasn't number one. So Don't Worry was the best. Okay, got it. Sorry, I thought I read that wrong. But Avatar came out in 3D, and a lot of people were seeing that this weekend instead. The original Avatar was re-released in 3D. Anyway, all I'm saying is, did it open okay? Yeah. It opened fair. I would say it opened fair to be, like, I'm not going to just knock on this movie to knock on the movie. It opened fair, but given all the drama and everything else, could have been better. Now, all right, now warning, I'm going to get into spoilers. I'm going to get into some slight spoilers. Fans have been laughing at Harry Styles, and now I can confirm this. I'm not just saying this to hate on Harry. I don't really care about Harry. You know my only beef with Harry Styles? My God, the radio only plays his songs over and over again, and I like his songs, but oh my God, is he getting overplayed? Can we hear some other music too? Sometimes I'm in there and they're playing all 5 of his singles within like an hour period. It's like his label owns the station or something. Oh my God, it's maddening. And I'm a fan. So I like Harry Styles as a musician, as an actor. As I said in my review, I thought he was mediocre. He was mediocre. He wasn't experienced enough. Shia LaBeouf would have crushed this role and brought like nuance and more creepiness to it. That really would have helped the film, I'll be honest. But nothing could have helped this script. And that's the problem. The script is ridiculous. And Harry's just is trying his best, but doesn't do a very good job. And honestly, in my audience, in my theater, during some of the scenes where Harry's acting, the audience was laughing. Now, this is crazy. Clearly, younger audience is there to sort of knock on him, I would assume, but not a good look. And people were doing it all over Twitter as clips came out. And yes, the biggest laugh to me is its ending. Now, again, I warned you, spoiler warning. I talked about this in my other review as well, but I have some more images that have leaked on Twitter that I'm going to try and show you. If I get in trouble, this part will get cut out of my stream if they do try to ding me, but I didn't find them. They've already been posted all over social media, but be warned. If I suddenly cut to the ending, that's what happened. All right, but here we go. Spoiler warning. So he works for the Victory Project. That's the sort of big secret of this film. And Florence Pugh is, what's happening? Something's wrong in this community. Something's off, right? She's being gaslit. What are they hiding from her? Well, the big reveal is that Harry Styles is an incel who's working at home while Florence's partner is out working the hospital for 30-hour shifts. he's at home all depressed listening to Jordan Peterson podcasts and getting all upset because when his wife comes home after a 30-hour shift of sewing bodies up, she doesn't want to just do it with him. Oh, poor Harry. Oh, this poor, it's so stupid. So that's, the look has been getting like, what's going on with this creepy Harry Styles incel character is what is the reveal, because spoiler alert, I've warned you, what's really happening with this greasy Harry Styles version is he's gotten her on a bed with things, like IVs and harnesses, and they've got these like weird Clockwork Orange, like digital projectors, and she's living in a simulation. She, against her will, she's in the simulation, just laying there in the scene. And this is the best clip someone got a shot of it from the theater. It's so weird. And I loved it because they're calling him the Discord mod. Discord mod Harry Styles is the scariest thing I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. The performance, the twist, it's ridiculous. And if you want to hear me just explain more and go off on a tangent, again, I implore you to go check out my Movie World review. It's right there. I'll put it at the end of this video so you can click over there and check out some of my movie stuff. But guys, this twist, this movie, it is just insanely stupid. This movie is just a build up to nothing. It's trying to give you this like M. Night Shyamalan style twist, and it just falls on its face. The last act of this film is just a mess, and then never really answers any the main questions you want to answer, which I can live with in a good movie. But this was just a movie that had no idea what it was saying. It had no idea how to justify its own twist. It is riddled with plot holes. That I break down in my review, which you can watch over on Movie World Plus. I'll put it at the end, like I said. But this movie is ridiculous. This like simulation ending with Discord mod Harry Styles, it's laughable, guys. So I don't know. There's a lot of like talking about how bad it is. Will that like help its cause? All I know is, like I said in my review, Shia LaBeouf dodged a bullet with this one. My goodness. It makes total sense why he wasn't aligned. He was worried about the script, which we've seen, in his text message exchanges. Clearly Olivia was too. And she had a talented actor that it was going to perform better than Harry Styles. And I don't even mean that as a knock. He's just Shia, like him or not. And I let him I believe a due process. I'm going to let him defend himself before I judge him. I don't like some of the things he said, though. So I'm not a fan necessarily of him as a person, but as an actor, he can act rings around Harry Styles. He's just a better actor, and he would have brought a lot more nuance to this, and that's the problem. And so I'm sure Olivia really did want him in the film to give a better performance, to challenge the script, to help get it to a better place. All these things are someone as a collaborator director you want, someone talented to help you make the film better. And I just do not believe Harry brought any of that to the table whatsoever. Just out of lack of experience. If I'm making an album, I go to Harry Styles. If I'm making a movie, I don't know if I call Harry Styles. And that's the problem with this movie. None of it makes sense. Florence Pugh, to her credit, she's a queen. I really was impressed by her, even in such a bad movie. She brings it. She is one to watch. I understand why people are becoming such fans of her. Movie after movie, even in Black Widow, she outshines Scarlett Johansson. She's a force. I'm a fan, and I'm just sad she got stuck in this drama, and she got called out as Miss Flo by this Olivia Wilde character, who I'm just no longer a fan of. I feel like she takes no accountability, and she clearly stirred up all this drama to help try to get this movie, which is a stinker, and I feel like she knows it, to get a little bit more attention. So shame on her. Don't waste your money. If it's on Netflix someday, fine, tune in and have a good laugh. But my God, guys, don't waste your time with Don't Worry, Darling. And we will keep you updated on the box office, but so far, it does not look like this film is going to perform as much as she needed it to. So Olivia, the drama didn't work. Try again next time and focus on making the better movie instead of all the other nonsense. What do you guys think, though? Tell me down below, and I'll put the movie right there. The movie review's right there on the left-hand side. Check out Movie World Plus. Click it, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. We'll be live later this afternoon to break down more news.